Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful fall day. I am just in awe of the sun and the leaves, and I am enjoying today a delicious cup of caffeine-free lavender tea. And this is part of my effort to drastically reduce, if not completely cut caffeine out of my life. It's been a journey of about a month. I'm gonna keep going on it, and I will check in with you guys about how that's going in a totally separate video. But I wanted to give a quick feature to the beautiful mug we've got today. This is a very pretty mug that I got when I lived in Wyoming. Also a story for another day, and it features a bison, and it's a handmade mug. And as you all know, I love having these porch talks with delicious cups of cozy beverages and cozy mugs that remind me of different places in the world. And so here we are. So today's video is very short, and it is about letting go of what people think about you, which is, I know, a very common theme for my channel, but it can't be said enough. And here's how this topic recently came up in a conversation I was having with some friends. So a couple of days ago, it was my last day of work in a job that I've been in for several years, and I decided it was time for me to tender my resignation. I had been in the process of figuring out what's next for me for many months. I started this many months ago, and I was trying to figure out what's the next job, what's the right step. I got some offers, I did some interviews, but I didn't accept anything yet, and I just didn't know what the right thing was. Despite that, I felt very certain that I was at the end of this road. And some of the reasons were personal and some of them were professional. I think professionally, I felt that my talents could be better utilized next in a different location, maybe in the same field that I'm in, maybe with a slight change. And I felt that personally too, I needed to be somewhere else. I have been a little bit far away from people that I love. I also have some things I've been wanting to take care of for my soul and for my health. And all those things just made it very clear to me in my mind after months and months of mulling over this decision that I needed to tender my resignation by a certain point, whether or not I had the next thing lined up and whether or not I had decided what I wanted to do next. So I went to dinner with some of my girlfriends to sort of celebrate the end of this and catch up. And as I was at dinner, a couple of the friends asked me, they said, "So you finished your job, what are you doing next?" And I told them, "I don't know, it's to be decided." And they looked at me and they were like, "Well, aren't you scared of having a gap on your resume?" And I looked at them, and at this point, this was right by an open bar, and I said, "I'm gonna have a gap on my resume that I am going to be paying for, with money that I earned, with time that I gave to other people, so that I could have this time for myself to figure out what I want. And I'm funding it entirely myself. No, I don't feel bad about having a gap on my resume. Doesn't even cross my mind like that. The only person I'm accountable to for making that decision is me." So they followed up with a very natural question, "But aren't you worried about what other people will think about that gap on your resume?" And again, it took me all of 2 seconds to look back at them and say, all those people will be dead one day. And this is the kind of thought that has gotten me through so many moments of life. I know it sounds sort of morbid, but it's actually not morbid at all. It's the most freeing thought in the entire world. Every single person is guaranteed to die. Someone tell me when that changes. Every single person is guaranteed to die. And so no matter what they think of you, those little thoughts are gonna go under the ground or into the ashes with them. And what a shame if you limited your life decisions and what was right for you and what makes sense for you based on what other people were going to think about you. Those people will be dead. So I really did look at her and very loudly say, all those people are going to be dead and rotting under the earth one day. No, I don't care at all what they think. And so I just wanted to make a very short video this time to share this thought with you. Because I truly think if you need time in your life for anything, for your health, for your relationships, for your significant other, if you feel like you've been neglecting them, for your children, if you feel like you haven't been present, for yourself, if you feel like you got off the path towards living an aligned life and you don't know how you landed where you are, and you just feel like you're stuck on a hamster wheel and in a life that just somehow feels disconnected from your soul and from your purpose, if you just feel uninspired, if you're not sure if you're living in the right place, if you're not even sure you're doing the right thing, whatever it is, if you have something in your life that needs attention and you decide that you're going to take the time to give those things attention and you're funding it, you should not care what anyone else thinks. You only need to ask yourself for your time. And you're not asking anyone else for their resources. So a gap on a resume is something I would never be focused on. And if I were interviewing people and they had gaps on their resume, that is not something that is my business to really cross-examine. What I care about if I'm hiring someone for a job is, do they have the ability and the desire to do the job that I'm trying to hire them from? And do they seem like the kind of person I want to be around? And whenever people start looking at other things, those things are proxies. If people don't think you're the right fit for the job or they don't like your personality, they often need a proxy. But most of the time, that's not the stuff that matters. And if someone is doing that and if they're cross-examining every little thing, maybe that isn't the right place to be. But I'm telling you, your gaps are your business. And what everyone else thinks about you is the least important thing. If you start living your life by other people's standards, it is a never-ending cycle that leads to nowhere happy. So just remember this really funny but very morbid but very true thought. Everyone's going to be dead one day, and their thoughts are going to die with them. So don't tailor your life for their thoughts. You're accountable to yourself. Make decisions every day that allow you to go to sleep with yourself at peace. And you will slowly find yourself living a life that's true to yourself. All right, that's all I had for you. Thanks to all the girlies who gave me a chance to really expound on these thoughts at the bar. It did lead to a bunch of applause because I just felt so passionate about it that it came out in 2 seconds without me having to think. And for the rest of you, I wish you a happy rest of your week. And until the next one, cheers.